अब राहुल थोड़ा बताएं, राहुल ने थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगाने का प्रयास किया है, तो कुछ सोचा होगा तभी 2v तक लाए। कैसे सोचा आप, जरा बताइए थोड़ा क्लास को।
सर जो फाइव लिखा सर, वो सम ऑफ स्क्वायर्स ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन रेजिडुअल्स होता है ना सर। तो सर
ठीक है।
फाइव का वही वी के रेस्पेक्ट में सर डिफरेंशिएट उसी का किया, तो सर स्क्वायर का होता सर, तो टू बी सर आएगा उसका।
तो नाउ ऐसे आप समझिए, इट इज लाइक दिस, इट
यस
इज
सर।
समेशन ऑफ पी आई वी आई स्क्वायर, जिसको हम लोग ने मैट्रिक्स फॉर्म में ऐसे लिखा है। ओके, now it is we have written this summation pi vi square in this form vtpv. So we need to understand that both differentiation with respect to p cannot be a different value, it has to be same value that has to represent the scenario. Okay, first thing. Now second thing is you have to understand what is the dimension of v is n cross 1. Okay, n cross 1 means there would be n rows and there would be a single value, that means single column vector, column vector would be available. Okay, so when you write this, when you differentiate for pi vi square, how would you differentiate? You will write 2 pi vi, isn't it? Then this vector would be added up by v1. If you have differentiated with respect to capital V, V is a vector. So once you go with v1, then it would be v1. Then another would be 2 p2 v2. Then plus 2 p3 v3, having and so on, isn't it? And if let's say p is same for the time being, if you say p is same, then 2p would come out and it would be v1 v2 v3 and v4, isn't it? Like that. समेशन कब होगा जरा बताइए। So what you are trying to represent the scenario, you are representing it with V transpose. Instead of V, you are explaining the same the scenario with V transpose. Okay. अब आप यहाँ देखिए आप क्या कर रहे हैं. So better way of writing is 2V transpose P multiplied by A. Okay. Now it has to be equal to 0. Why? Because you have to minimize the function. So 2V transpose P A is equal to 0. Then you take the transpose on both sides because you have a matrix. So 2 transpose nothing, it would always be 2. So ignoring it, you have V transpose P A inka transpose. So A B C transpose would be C transpose A transpose. So A transpose P transpose V transpose ka transpose is equal to 0. This is the rule. If you have to make the ABC transpose, it would be C transpose B transpose A transpose. From that, so A transpose, the P is a diagonal matrix. Okay, not only diagonal, rest components are 0 because weights is only having a diagonal relationship. Okay, with respect to each other. So if you take transpose of a diagonal matrix, it will again be a trigonal matrix, and transpose ka transpose would be this one. So you have ATP V is equal to 0. Now what is V from your previous equation? V is ATP, V is A delta XA minus L is equal to 0. Now ATPA delta XA minus ATPL is equal to 0. Now delta X would be ATPL. Delta X would be ATPA inverse ATPL. Now this X or correction to adjusted value, if it is correction or it is a direct value, let's say XA. This is achieved through least square minimization with the help of observation equation method. तो अब आप इसको अप्रिशिएट अभी तक ऐसे नहीं कर पाएंगे, अभी तो आपने डेरिवेशन किया, you just have derived the solution, that's it. Okay, now you will appreciate
सर
only if, yes, anyone?
सर वो समेशन में 2v/p/AT जो आया वो सर समझ में नहीं आया लास्ट में कैसे कंक्लूड किया आपने
This
इस
one,
दिस सर
the
2v/T/P
V
equals to
transpose, to V transpose P is just explaining if you know how your system is written, that phi as a function is written as summation of pi vi square, which is nothing but p1 v1 square plus p2 v2 square plus p3 v3 square and so on. Okay, and the moment you take the differentiation with respect to v, so it would only be 2, okay, 2 p and v, 2 p v, everywhere it is 2 p v. V is your n cross 1. Here you are representing V as summation inside this function. Here it is, if you take 2p as common, it will be V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. That will come in the matrix form, isn't it? Just think of Jacobian function with respect to n variables, how it will be V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. So it is here, it is coming as 1 cross n. That's why it is transpose, because V is n cross 1. The representation here after differentiation is in transpose form. It is 1 cross n form. That's why we have taken V transpose as the derivative.
yes thank you sir.
Now here we are got the solution of delta xa as a t p a inverse a t p l. Now you know. Before moving ahead, you just tell me what is the dimension of A, P, A, A, P, L. चलिए बताइए सुमित, A की डायमेंशन बताइए.
तो n क्रॉस 1 ही होगा ना सर
अरे यार अभी ऊपर बताया ना n क्रॉस u था, A is multiplied with x.
यस यस 1 क्रॉस u हो जाएगा सर
वो और ये क्या करने लगते हो क्या तुम?
सॉरी सर
U is u cross 1, A would automatically be n cross u. So यहाँ पर देखिए आउटपुट डायमेंशन क्या नहीं है, u क्रॉस 1 आना है. क्यों? क्योंकि x का साइज u क्रॉस 1 है. तो इसका स्टार्टिंग किससे हो सकता है? नन अदर देन ए ट्रांसपोज. ओके, सो ए ट्रांसपोज का साइज क्या है? u क्रॉस n, n क्रॉस n, n क्रॉस u, u क्रॉस n, n क्रॉस n, n क्रॉस 1. देखिए शुरू में u आया, इधर 1 आया, बाकी बीच में सब कैंसिल हो रहे हैं. ओके okay, I understand that at this point it is not possible to appreciate that how easily you have got the solution. Let us do one problem. All you have to attempt it. You all have. There are two vectors, two angles, sorry, alpha 1 and alpha 2. Alpha 1 is 10 degree, alpha 2 is 10 degree, and alpha 3, which is measured, sorry, alpha 3 is 21 degree. Very simple question. You have three angles, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. Alpha 1 is 10 degree, alpha 2 is 10 degree, alpha 3 is 21 degree. You have to give me the adjusted values of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, because you must clearly visualize that alpha 3 is not equal to alpha 1 alpha 2. There must be some errors in either alpha 1 or alpha 2 or alpha. Now this problem looks very easy just by looking at this problem, but how to solve it using observation equation method, you just need to think of. बताइए कैसे करेंगे? This problem will open your eyes that okay, how to solve such problems with observation equation method, which you have just derived. Think of the possible models in your mind.
सर एक बार क्वेश्चन रिपीट कर देंगे सर?
Is it not visualized properly?
Actually, sir, in my side, network is little bit weak. That is why voice is stucking down, sir.
Alpha 1 figure is visible.
Yes, sir.
Alpha 1 is 10 degree, alpha 2 is 10 degree, alpha 3 is 21 degree. That's the problem. Now you have to tell me the adjusted values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. You have to solve this problem using observation equation method. That's it. हाँ भाई, कुछ अटेम्प्ट हुआ? वैली शेट्टी,
Sir,
any approach that you thought of?
no, sir.
Problem is very easy, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
सही कैसे करेंगे? How to attempt this problem? It looks very easy, but again you are just you know, handicapped in the sense that you have never attempted such a problem before. Chaliye, it is expected that you could not attempt it, no issues. Now step by step, just follow how I'm writing the solution. Okay. So first step is you are writing alpha 1 or just I'll just use the basic model that you have written. LA is LB plus V that we have used in while explaining fxa is equal to LA, and the right hand side we have written LB plus V. Here we have three observations: alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. We'll write these three for all. We'll write the equation, this equation for all three observations. So alpha 1 adjusted is equal to alpha 1 plus V1. Okay. Alpha 2 adjusted is equal to alpha 2 plus V2. Alpha 3 adjusted is equal to alpha 3 plus V3. That's it. Any issues? Any problem? No. Because we know if we do not have the adjusted value, there must be some problem with the alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. And we have seen that the problem, that's why the corrections are applied. But problem again is there is a functional relationship between alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. बताइए वो functional relationship क्या है? There is a functional relationship between three observation. What is that? Anyone?
The sin A plus B का formula जो था.
No. Very
Sir, equal
small
to
and
1T.
simple. हैं?
So sum of 3 equal to
Of
180.
the first two angles
ये कौन
equals
था?
to
ये
the
कौन था?
last.
ये कौन था? ये जो अभी बोल रहा था सम ऑफ 3 इज 180, ये कौन है भाई?
Sir,
नाम बताएं जरा अपना।
Rahul.
तुम यार कौन सी दुनिया में हो भाई?
The sum of first two angles equals to
ये
third angle.
नहीं नहीं, एक मिनट पहले छुट्टी, जस्ट वेट अ मिनट, वेट राहुल, आप पता है आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Sir, wrong है sir.
मतलब कुछ भी है? Sum of, yes, Elishatti, continue. Sum of
First two angles, the alpha 1 and alpha 2 gives the third angle, alpha 3.
But this is wrong. Why it is wrong? Can you tell me? The relationship
Observed
which you
values.
spoke is the relationship which you spoke is right, but the way I'm writing is wrong. Why? Because this relationship does not hold for raw observations.
For observed values, it is wrong relation.
Yes, the actual relationship is this. For adjusted only this relationship would hold. But subject to, we should have the adjusted values anyways. Okay. So we can replace it here. Okay. Now V1, V2, V3 in one form is equal to we have written this all three equation after replacing this all three equation 1, 2, 3 in this matrix form that represent. Is it so? Just observe. First equation, V1 stayed on the alpha 1 stayed on that side, alpha 1 minus that means sorry, alpha 1 goes on the other side, makes it minus alpha 1. V2 stayed on that side, alpha 2 stayed on left hand side, alpha 2 goes on the left hand side, becomes minus alpha 2. Similarly here. Now we have written in a matrix form because we know if we have to make it in this form of Vx minus L, we have to write it in matrix form. Now, what is XA? Shetty, बताएं, what is XA?
Adjusted values of alpha 1.
Yeah, that's true. Adjusted values of alpha 1 and alpha 2, but solution is we have just derived A transpose PA inverse
into A
ATPL.
transpose PL.
P is not given. You take it as identity matrix of definite size, which is here. It is known as 3 cross 3 because principally you have taken all observations. So you have to consider all observations weight matrix also, which is you have considered as identity because it is no information is given. Now A transpose, A is of 3 cross 2. A transpose would be 2 cross
2
3.
cross 3.
P is 3 cross 3. Again, A is 2 cross, sorry, A
3
is 3
cross
cross
2.
2. Then A transpose 2 cross 3. Again, P is 3 cross 3. Observation L is 3 cross 1. So answer would be 2 cross
2
1.
cross 1.
That means our equation is fully justified. Our matrix that we have got, that is also fully justified. Now we'll get the solution. Now it is your job to tell me what is the values of alpha 1 and alpha 2 adjusted. If you get these two values, alpha 3 is very straightforward, which is Possibly you'll get answer like 10.5, 10.5, then you'll get 21. Possible solution, not 100% I'm sure, but maybe a possibility that you get this kind of solution. Now the problem, which is very easy just by observing in this figure, which I have just given to you, could easily be solved by this. Now, considering that this is the first time I've explained, it is expected that many of you would not have got it. Now the chance to ask question where I can explain it again if anyone wants.
Sir, how you are writing this matrix?
कौन बोल रहा भाई?
Sir, आलू.
अरे भाई तुम तो समझ जाना चाहिए तुमको.
सर ये नहीं ऊपर हाँ ये V1 V2
यही ना,
V3
दिस वन. हाँ देखिए आप, मैं लिख रहा हूँ अल्फा वन एडजस्टेड क्या था, अल्फा वन प्लस V1 था, तो V1 क्या हो जाएगा, अल्फा वन एडजस्टेड माइनस अल्फा वन. सिमिलरली V2 क्या हो जाएगा, अल्फा टू एडजस्टेड माइनस अल्फा टू. V3 क्या हो जाएगा, अल्फा वन एडजस्टेड प्लस अल्फा टू एडजस्टेड माइनस अल्फा थ्री, because you could see it from here. We have replaced alpha 3a with this. Now we have three equations that we have to convert into linear system of equations. How do we write it? V1, V2, V3 as a matrix is equal to alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 1, alpha 2. Only alpha 1 and alpha 2 are variables. We have written as like this. Now 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 minus. You can get after multiplying each one of it. बताइए आलोक.
Yes sir, समझ गया.
आपको ये ध्यान देना है, what is your optimal variable that you have in your observation equation. Anyone? Please be frank. If you have any small query, this is the right time to ask.
Sir, please scroll down the slide, sir. Just one page. Yes.
If nobody would ask question, I will give another problem and I will ask one by one.
Sir? Sir, I wish to say one thing. From the beginning of the classes, whenever the question is raised by you during the class time, most of us are knowing the relationship for the query that is raised by you and the method to approach, but the synchronization between the knowing the values and functional relationships and getting the answer is lacking somewhere from all of us. So is any guidance from you too?
Say again. I mean, that is an interesting point which you have observed. Just say again. What I just missed the point.
Sir, actually, whenever the question is raised by you, I feel most of us, from my personal experience, I feel that most of us are knowing the relation models, first two steps, how to get into the solution, and the final expected like answer or whatever the solution we get into the mind. But the synchronization between the known relationships and the expected value is lacking from us.
Synchronization between expected values and
Known methods, functional relationships like for between the variables or some. Suppose
uh,
for this, if we take this previous question, we know the observation equation model, and we know
we
the.
yes, you know the relationship, possible relationship which is
Yes,
there,
sir.
but you could not apply it, isn't it?
Yes, sir. The application somewhere we are lacking. We know entire thing. Once while you are doing something is getting into my mind that oh we can do this, but why that application of small single step is not coming into our mind.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good observation. Now just go back to our derivation part. This is part where we were deriving, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now I have done everything. I've explained everything. If it is a non-linear model, we have to linearize it. Before linearizing, you have to take an initial value. Then how do you linearize it? You probably missed this part.
Yes, sir.
I have written this part, isn't it? Otherwise, I would not have given the solution if I have not written this part. So I have written this part, then started forming the equation, then reached at this point. So you probably missed, you know this, that okay, we want v is equal to x minus 12, but you miss that how the observation goes into this relationship. This is the missing part, which you people thought that you get it, but eventually it is not.
Even if most of us are missing this point in today's class, but previous class we all listened the point that variance some residual is equals to the difference between the adjusted values and the observed values, but we know that the equations to attempt to apply, but the application is somewhere lacking.
No, it will not lag. Uh, uh, it will only lag if you do not practice the problem. Let's say I'm just giving one more problem. Okay. Now let's see whether you are going to attempt it or not. These problems are very basic. I cannot give you any advanced related problem, just very basic problem. The problem are very simple. This is 60, this is 60, this is 61. My again question is, now you will attempt it. Now there won't be any problem in solving this problem. You can attempt it right now. The moment you start like this. Alpha 1 adjusted is equal to alpha 1 plus v1, alpha 2 adjusted is equal to alpha 2 plus v2, alpha 3 adjusted is equal to alpha 3 plus v3. Now what is the relationship? The relationship is very equal. 180 degree minus alpha 1 adjusted minus alpha 2 adjusted is equal to alpha 3 plus v3. Now you get v1, v2, v3 is equal to 1 0 0 1 minus 1, that would become alpha 1 adjusted, alpha 2 adjusted, isn't it? Minus the third one is important. How do you write it? Alpha 1, alpha 2, and 180 degree minus, sorry, plus 180. How do you write it? Minus, it goes as minus, na? So it will It is your V, it is your A, it is your XA, it is your L. You'll get XA. That is it. Now this XA, please remember, all of you, those who are listening very carefully, this XA is the best among any other method in the world. By any other means, whatever you can attempt, this is the best. Best, and it is in blue in nature. Best linear unbiased estimate of X. Because it is coming from least square solution. Now classroom problem where you will attempt your approach. Just develop the model. Forget about the values. Just develop the model. I want the LSQ model based on observation equation. If you attempt this problem, then I would understand that you have got the concept.
Sir, their D2 and D3 distances are not representing same BC distance.
No, what I'm trying to say, a entity which you are targeting in the field may be observed by multiple groups, so they may have a different values. So D1, D2 can have different observed value, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
अब मॉडल डेवलप करिए.
Sir, hello. Sir, D4A plus V equals to D1A plus D2A plus D3A by 2.
अरे मॉडल बताओ. मॉडल, this model, like this model, matrix model. वेली शेट्टी आप बताइए।
Sir, the D2 and D3, I'm confusing between that. Only if we consider only one observation for the distance between the BC, the D4 will be sum of the two distances D1 and D3.
That's okay. That's okay.
Then if we do residual equations as V1 equals to adjusted value of D1 minus observed value of D1.
बताइए मैट्रिक्स वैल्यू बताइए। एक्स ए क्या है, ए क्या है, चलिए बताइए। व्हाट इज योर एक्स ए? आलोक बताइए। आलोक आर यू
Yes.
नॉट देयर? हाँ बताएं बताएं, जल्दी बताओ।
सर इसमें एक कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है कि D2 या D3 में से किसको लें या फिर मीन लेके इक्वेशन बनाएं इसकी।
नहीं, why you again I've told you from the first point of my class was this is my first, you would forget about mean and everything. Now here onwards adjusted values is everything. तो mean तो आएगा ही नहीं। A relationship is true that you can take any one value. Forget about D2 or D3. You take any one value. So you take D1.
D2, D.
You can take D3. That's it. If you want to take D2, then you can take D2. Again, now it's very easy. You do not have to waste time. उसको टाइम क्या लग रहा है आपको? पहली शेट्टी, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Rahul?
Yes, sir.
Sumit?
Yes, yes, sir.
Sunil?
Yes, sir.
Praveen?
Yes, sir.
Any questions from anyone? Rahul?
सर D2 D3 को एक साथ भी तो इक्वेशन में ला सकते हैं।
क्यों लाओगे? मिनिमम
सारे
रिक्वायर्ड
वेरिएबल,
मिनिमम रिक्वायर्ड पैरामीटर आपके पास हैं। इफ यू गेट D2 would be equal to, sorry, D1 adjusted आएगा यहाँ पर। If you get D2 adjusted, it would be equal to D3 adjusted. That's it. End of the story. Yeah. Why would you go ahead with another extra variable? Clear? Should we end this? Yes, sir.